The internet is literally losing its mind right now. Blueface has barely even stepped out of jail, and chaos has already erupted. The man did not even get a week of peace before drama exploded across every social media platform. And at the center of it all, Chrisean rock. She is out here claiming that Blueface stomped her, that she still has bruises, that this man has not changed one bit. And people are eating it up. But wait, it does not end there. Jaden Alexis? She is in the background, collecting receipts like she is the FBI of baby mama drama. Every post, every story, every screenshot, she is gathering them all. And as if this reality show was not messy enough, Blueface's mother, Karlissa, decided to enter the ring too. Yes, his own mom. At this point, it feels like a family feud gone completely off the rails, and honestly, the internet is exhausted. Now, here is where it gets shocking. Right after Blueface got released, there was a video that had fans believing things were actually calm for once. He was seen in the studio with Little Jr., and guess who else was there? Chrisean. People thought maybe, just maybe, they were putting the drama behind them. Even Chrisean herself went online saying everyone needed to chill. That Blueface was only spending time with his son, something she literally called an answered prayer. She said after 2 long years of fighting, pain, and public humiliation, they had finally figured things out. They were done with the chaos. They were co-parenting now. Peaceful. Mature. Civilized. But of course, with these two, peace never lasts. Because right when the world started to believe in their redemption arc, everything came crashing down again, louder, darker, and messier than before. To her, Blueface was not just an ex, he was her baby daddy, her best friend, her chaos, and her calm all at once. In her eyes, they had finally reached a point where the storm had quieted. Chrisean said things were better, that neither of them was trying to control the other anymore. That maybe, just maybe, this was the most mature they had ever been. She said all she wanted was what was best for their son, Little Jr., and that meant letting Blueface be a great dad. For the first time in what felt like forever, fans saw something different, something almost pure. The baby looked calm. Blueface looked proud. There were clips of him standing beside the playpen, watching his son try to stand for the very first time. That moment hit differently. People online were saying it looked like the baby finally felt loved, like he was surrounded by peace instead of chaos. It was almost beautiful. Almost. Then came the family reunion. Cameras caught Blueface hugging his other kids, the ones he shares with Jaden Alexis, and for a split second, it looked like a healing story. A redemption arc. The internet was melting, saying things like, wow, maybe this time it's different. Maybe he's finally choosing peace over drama. But oh no. This is Blueface we're talking about. And peace never stays long in his world. Because right there, in that same beautiful reunion, the storm started brewing again. Jaden's face said it all. The tension was thick. She clearly did not want Chrisean anywhere near her kids. And that is when Blueface's mom, Karlissa, decided to make her grand entrance, not quietly, not privately, but right on social media, ready to drop bombs. She claimed Chrisean ruined Blueface's first day out bonding with his children. Karlissa said she had no problem with Chrisean Jesus being there, yes, she actually said that, but insisted that Chrisean stalked them, pulled up in a black truck uninvited, like something out of a reality TV ambush. And it gets darker. Karlissa went on to say that Chrisean kept trying to touch her at the arcade, just days after publicly disrespecting her. She accused Chrisean of leaving her baby without diapers, food, or even a car seat, just to follow Blueface around like a shadow. Then came the final jab. Karlissa claimed Chrisean purposely put Blueface's daughter, Journey, on camera, just to stir attention. And after that? Everything exploded. Nobody knew what really happened in those few hours, but the next thing anyone saw, Chrisean was crashing out online, posting wild rants, and Blueface? He was calling out every woman who had ever been in his orbit, Jaden, Chrisean, Angela, all of them. Blueface said none of them held him down while he was behind bars. Angela, who swore she was planning an elaborate welcome home surprise, was suddenly being called disloyal. He even claimed she was never really locked in like she said. But the real fire started when he began airing out Jaden and Chrisean, again. He said he was not mad about them seeing other people while he was in prison for 21 months, but he called Jaden out for blowing through the $90,000 he had given her. He said she was more focused on experimenting with women than making sure he was okay inside. And when he asked her for just $50 to put on his commissary books, she told him she needed it for gas. That was his breaking point. In his own words, Blueface said, holding it down is not about loyalty in the sheets. It's about loyalty when your guy is locked up. If you cannot even make sure I can go to the store in jail, you cannot eat at my table when I am free. He even calculated it, said it costs about $300 a month for commissary, and that if she could not even manage that, she was not real. Then, in a surprising twist, he actually gave Chrisean credit, said she looked out for him for 7 or 8 months while he was inside, while Jaden dipped after the first week. "That's why I halfway respect her," he said. She held it down longer than Jaden ever did. But Jaden was not staying silent this time. She clapped back hard on X, formerly Twitter, dropping receipts, screenshots, confirmation emails, even commissary records showing weekly packages sent under Blueface inmate ID throughout spring and summer 2024. "Weekly packages up until he told me to stop because he was mad," she wrote. Social media went crazy. Some fans sided with her, others called her a liar. But then, Chrisean entered the chat. She claimed she refused to support a man who was cheating on her, accusing both Blueface and Jaden of using her for clout while she was showing genuine love. Her post read like a heartbreak manifesto: "I was out here giving real love, just for it to be mocked and disrespected." Then she took another shot. "Jaden, I know what's up with you," she said, "but watch your mouth. I do not want to see you in harm's way all because of your bitter, sour heart." She even accused Karlissa, Blueface's own mom, of showing fake text messages just to paint her as the villain. And then came the real dagger. Chrisean said, "You took his kids away from him, then turned around and asked him for money right after he came home. 2 years in prison, and he still took care of y'all on his last dollar. You think that's right?" She reminded everyone that before Blueface went to prison, he left Jaden with a car, a career, and even his chains, things he never gave her. And yet, despite that, she said she still showed up for him. "Even when I gave up," she said, "I can still appreciate that he never held it against me, and that he still wanted to be a father to our son." It was raw. It was emotional. It was heartbreak wrapped in pride, mixed with resentment. And it painted a picture the internet could not stop talking about: a toxic triangle between a man who craves chaos, 2 women fighting for love, and a public that cannot look away. "Honey, trust Jaden to respond, because when she does, it is never subtle." She came in loud and unapologetic, firing shots like she had been holding them in for months. She said, "Chrisean, I know you're finally coming down and trying to process things 3 days later, but thank you for putting that threat in writing. I never asked that man, or anyone, for money while he was gone. Show me one message where I did." And just like that, the tone shifted. She called Chrisean out for still sleeping on people's couches, claiming her kid was using toys she bought. The message dripped with mockery and pain, like someone who had been waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. "Me and him haven't spoken before or after he got out," she said. "You want me to be bitter because deep down, you're envious. God opens doors for me, you're still barking at the door hoping someone lets you in." Ouch. The internet felt that one. And she was not done yet. She called out Chrisean for trying to put her kids on live, more than she's ever posted her own. "Envy," she said, "that's what it looks like when people act out of spite instead of love." Her words had that raw, maternal fury, that "I will destroy you if you come near my children" energy. She ended her rant with something that hit deep for every parent watching: parenting isn't a social media trend. When you feel your child's safety is being threatened, that instinct hits different. There's no apology strong enough to undo that. So before you judge how I move as a mother, take notes, because what you call bitter is what I call protection. The internet exploded. Some people clapped for her strength. Others called her a hypocrite. But everyone knew, this was no longer just about Blueface. This was personal. And then, the chaos doubled. Because Chrisean, in true Chrisean fashion, spiraled right after. She went on an emotional posting spree on X, uploading and deleting faster than anyone could keep up. Her page turned into a timeline of pain and confusion, screenshots, bruises, accusations, everything. She claimed Blue had stomped her. Said her back was messed up. Then she posted photos, her bruised body on display for the entire internet to see. It was shocking. It was heavy. And it was messy. People could not tell if she was crying for help or crying for attention, because with her, those two things have always looked the same. One minute she is defending him, calling him her family, her love, her peace. The next minute, she is exposing him, crying, saying he hurt her. It is a vicious, heartbreaking loop that the world has seen play out too many times. And the internet, cruel as always, did what it does best: it judged. Half the comments screamed, "Put him back in jail." The other half said, "She's just doing this for attention." Like pain itself had become a performance. Like trauma was just another trending topic. Every bruise became a headline. Every tear became a meme. That is how numb the audience has become. Tragedy turned into content. And then, just when everyone thought the dust might settle, Blue's mother, Karlissa, jumped back into the flames. And baby, when Karlissa speaks, it is never peaceful. She claimed that it was not Blueface who hurt Chrisean at all. She said it was one of his security guards, that Chrisean had attacked him, and he defended himself. According to Karlissa, Blueface was actually yelling at the guard not to touch her, trying to stop the situation from escalating. That single post flipped the entire internet upside down. If that was true, it meant the whole narrative changed. But then again, when it comes to this family, truth is like smoke. Every time you think you've caught it, it slips through your fingers. Everyone's got receipts. Everyone's got screenshots. But nobody's got peace. And Karlissa did not stop there. Oh no. She went nuclear. She began throwing out heavy, dangerous accusations, saying Chrisean had unalived someone. That she had proof. That she was ready to drop receipts. The comments went wild. Some people begged her to stop. Others egged her on. It felt less like a family dispute and more like a digital battlefield. At that point, it became painfully clear, this family does not know how to exist without chaos. Every quiet moment feels like a countdown to the next explosion. One fight ends, and another begins. The screens light up, the live streams start, and the world tunes in like it is another episode of the most toxic reality show ever produced. And the saddest part? People are addicted to it. They have seen so much violence, heartbreak, and humiliation between these two that they do not even flinch anymore. Every time someone posts bruises, people ask, is it real, or is it promo? Every time someone cries online, someone else comments, here we go again. This is not just a relationship anymore, it is entertainment. It is tragedy dressed as clout. Love turned into currency. Pain turned into profit. Because let's be honest, Chrisean's story is tragic. She talks about God, growth, and motherhood, and then 5 minutes later, she is back on live, screaming, crying, breaking things, deleting posts. Watching her is like watching someone drown in water they refuse to stop jumping into. She loves Blueface, that much is clear. But love without boundaries is not love, it is addiction. It is chaos wearing a romantic disguise. And the cruel twist? Blueface plays it cool every time. He goes live with a smirk, posts his music, acts unbothered while she spirals. That calmness? It is manipulation disguised as control. It is the look of someone who knows they own the narrative. And that is how toxic love works, it convinces you that your pain is your fault, that your reality is not real. Even when the bruises are still there, you start to doubt if they ever were. But then, just when you think the chaos might finally cool off, his mother steps in. And if you know Karlissa, you already know what that means. Because Karlissa does not just defend her son, she wages wars for him. She will go toe-to-toe with fans, bloggers, even family members if it means protecting Blueface's name. But her version of protection always comes with casualties. Every time she opens her mouth, the internet catches fire. And this time? She did not just light a match, she dropped a bomb. She went online claiming that Chrisean had unalived someone. Yes, she actually said that. And in that instant, the story stopped being gossip, it became something darker. Something dangerous. Because that kind of accusation is not drama. That is a legal statement. You do not just post something like that without expecting consequences. But in this digital circus, nobody seems to care about the truth anymore, only about the traffic it brings. And yet, behind all the madness, there is something almost tragic about this family. You can see the pain beneath the performance. These are people who have been bleeding publicly for years, and they do not even realize it anymore. Blueface learned conflict before he learned love. Chrisean found comfort in chaos. And Karlissa? She is still fighting battles that should have ended decades ago. It is generational trauma, recycled and live-streamed. A family bleeding on people who never even cut them. Every time Chrisean posts something new, the vultures descend. Screenshots spread, reaction videos flood TikTok, podcasts dissect every bruise, every deleted tweet. It is like watching a car crash in slow motion, horrifying, yet somehow no one can look away. The internet feasts on pain now. Nobody pauses to think, that's a real person crying. They just want the next clip, the next quote, the next viral moment. And maybe that is the saddest part, because even Chrisean knows it. She knows that every post, every meltdown, every bruise keeps her relevant. Even negative attention still means people are watching. And when fame becomes your only form of love, silence becomes terrifying. Meanwhile, Blueface? He moves like a man who has mastered detachment. The smirk. The calm. The calculated silence. It is manipulation in motion, the kind that flips narratives without saying a word. Because when he stays quiet and she loses control, he wins by default. The internet sees her tears, her anger, her chaos, and he just sits there, unbothered, almost amused. See? She's crazy, he implies without even speaking. And people believe him. That is how toxic love gaslights its victims, it convinces the world that the one who is hurting must be insane. Everyone watching already knows the pattern by heart. They fight. They go live. They break up. Someone cries. Someone bleeds. Then they make up again like nothing ever happened. It is a loop of heartbreak and humiliation dressed up as entertainment. And the public? They are addicted to it. They pretend to be disgusted, but they never look away. Because deep down, people love watching others fall apart more than they love seeing them heal. The same followers typing, sending prayers, are the ones screen recording the next meltdown. It is hypocrisy disguised as concern. Humanity replaced by hashtags. And now, it is not just the couple anymore, it is the entire family. Cousins, siblings, parents, everyone stepping up to tell their truth in live streams and interviews. It is like a never-ending soap opera, except this one is real. There is no script, just real damage. Real children. Real consequences. Because while the adults are too busy performing, the kids are watching. Every argument, every accusation, every headline, those babies will grow up and Google their parents' names. And what will they find? Not love. Not stability. Just chaos and pain. That is the part nobody wants to talk about. But none of them are thinking that far ahead. They are chasing clout, not closure. They care more about winning arguments than protecting their peace. Because when the camera turns off and the phone goes silent, what are they left with? The silence. And that is the one thing they are all terrified of, silence. Because silence forces you to face yourself. And none of them want to do that. At this point, there are no heroes in this story, only survivors. Chrisean is both the victim and the villain. Blueface is both manipulator and lost soul. Karlissa is both protector and destroyer. There is no good side. Just pain passed down and turned into content. And maybe that is the most chilling part, their trauma has become entertainment. Every fight, every scar, every cry has become a monetized performance for an audience that rewards destruction. Social media does not heal people, it harvests their breakdowns. And Karlissa? She just keeps doubling down. She even posted a message saying, "I'm going to ask you nicely to leave my family alone. I got video from the people who know you wanna live that man yourself. I record everything." Wait, what? She actually said that. And she did not stop there. She went on to claim that Chrisean left her baby somewhere to chase after Blueface. Fans were terrified. Was the baby missing? Was it true? Nobody knew. Then things got even darker. Karlissa said that someone had come up to her with a sample of Chrisean Jr.'s DNA. And she hinted that she wanted to test it, to see if she was really the child's grandmother. She even posted a photo of a grandparent DNA test kit online. That crossed every imaginable line. At this point, she was not just feuding with Chrisean, she was putting an innocent baby into the middle of a digital war. And the internet? Oh, it ate that up like it was Christmas dinner. Every blog, every reaction channel, every TikTok gossip page, all over it. Some fans defended her, saying she had the right to know the truth. Others called her cruel, saying she had no boundaries left. But everyone agreed on one thing, this family's drama is unmatched. Because just when you think they have reached rock bottom, they find a new basement to fall into. And what makes it even more disturbing is that this behavior, this chaos, is not new. It is their normal. Every time the storm quiets, someone in that family grabs a match and lights it again,